Hello everyone. Today in this lecture we will discuss the seventh chapter of class 9, that is packing. Packing is one of the most hilarious chapter in this book. It is written by Jerome K. Jerome. The story has three friends who have to pack their stuff as they have decided to go for a picnic. The name of the three friends are Jerome, George, and Harris. Jerome, yes, he is itself the author. Jerome thinks that he is the best person for the job. He suggests that he should do the packing but is quite taken aback when his friend so easily agree with it. Obviously, the suggestion was only a show off, but the fact that his friend so easily agreed. George sat on the easy chair while Harris kept his leg on the table. On the other hand, Jerome's only intention was to watch over them when they packed. He wanted to only point out their errors and faults, but had no intention to do it himself. It is, in fact, quite funny that he says that it is my energetic nature. I can't help it. On the contrary, his definition of hard work is to put his hand in his pocket and watch others to do the work. He even tells a story about a man with whom he used to stay, and he would watch Jerome to do all the work. But anyways, he gets started with the job of packing, and after packing, Harris tells him that he has forgotten to pack his boots. This irritated Jerome as he thought that Harris could have pointed that before he packed his bag. Now Jerome opened the bag to keep the boots in it. As he was about to close it, he was struck by a strange thought that had he kept the toothbrush or not. He says that he never remembers if he has packed the toothbrush or not. Jerome adds that while traveling, he always messes up with carrying his toothbrush. He has nightmare of not having packed it, wakes up in sweat and looks for it. In the morning, he packs it before using it, then unpacks the bag to get the brush and uses it, as it is the last thing that comes out of the bag and he has repacked the bag. He forgot packing it again. At last moment, he rushes to his room to get the brush and finally he wraps it in his handkerchief and carries it to the railway station in his hand. As Jerome was looking for his toothbrush in his bag, he had to remove everything, but he could not find it. He created a mess. He found his friend's brush many times but could not find his brush. He kept everything back into the bag one by one, shaking each item and finally found the brush inside a boot. Then once again he repacked the bag. Now, when Jerome closed the bag, George asked if the soap was there inside it. As Jerome was impatient, he replied that he wasn't concerned if it was there or not, closed the lid and strapped the bag. Then he realized that he had packed his spectacles in it too and had to open it again to get them. Finally, the bag was closed at 10 and 5 pm. Then they had to pack the food basket. Harris said that as they were left with less than 12 hours to live. They should pack the basket as well. Harris decided that the food basket would be packed by him and George. Jerome agreed to take his turn for some rest while his friends packed the basket. George and Harris started packing the hampers in a happy mood. They wanted to show Jerome that they could pack well. Jerome waited for them to create a mess because he considered Harris to be the worst packer in the world. Jerome looked at the piles of plate, cups, kettle, and bottles, the jars, pie, cakes, and tomatoes, which had to be packed into the hamper. He thought that as the boys would mesh up, it would be an interesting thing to watch. The scene became interesting as they broke a cup at the start. Jerome says that they broke the cup to indicate that they could do that too and to make the thing interesting. Harris placed a jar of strawberry jam on top of the tomatoes. The tomatoes were squeezed by the jar and then they removed the damaged tomatoes with the help of a spoon. Next, George stepped on the butter. Jerome remained silent but sat on the edge of the table to watch the action. His silence irritated his friends. They became nervous and stepped on the things. They kept the things behind them and later, when they wanted them, they could not find them. They placed the pies on the bottom and kept heavier things on them, which smashed the pies. The boys overturned the can of salt on everything. Jerome says that they created a lot of confusion with a small piece of butter. He had not seen anyone created so much mash with butter. George removed it from his sleeper and tried to put it into the kettle. As he was unable to do that, he placed it on the chair. Harris sat on it. The butter stuck to him. He stood up and both the boys went around the room looking for the piece of butter. George looked intently at the empty seat on which he had placed the butter a few minutes ago. He took an oath of truthfulness that he had placed it there not even a minute ago. Once again, they searched it in the room. They met in the middle of the room empty handed. George said that the disappearance of the butter was the most amazing thing that he had known. Harris said that the disappearance of the butter was a mystery. George saw the butter sticking to Harris' back and said that it had been there all this while. Harris turned around and asked where it was. George flew the Harris back and asked him to stand still. They removed the butter and packed it inside the teapot. Jerome's pet dog, Montmorency, participated in all this. His aim was to interrupt everyone and then get scolded for it. Jerome adds that if Montmorency was able to twist into a place and create nuisance by angering people and get things thrown at him in return, he felt that he had utilized the day in a good way. Montmorency's aim was to get people trip over him and scold him. By doing this, he felt that he had fulfilled his aim and would feel proud of his achievement. Montmorency sat on the things to be packed. He thought that when George and Harris reached out for the things to be packed, they, reaching out for his cold, wet nose and would bring it forward for them. He stepped into the jam bottle. He shook the teaspoon. He acted as if the lemon were red and stepped into the hamper to kill these rats. He was stopped by Harris, who hit him with a frying pan. Harris blamed Jerome for encouraging Montmorency for doing all this mischief. Jerome says that a dog like Montmorency did not need encouragement. It was born to be like that and act like that. At 12:50, they had packed the hampers. Harris sat on it and said that hopefully nothing would break in it. George was indifferent and said that if nothing broke it would not matter as they were ready for bed. They went upstairs to sleep. As they settled in their bed, Harris asked Jerome if he preferred the inside or the outside of the bed. Jerome said that he preferred to sleep on the inside of the bed. This seemed strange to Harris. George asked them that he should wake them up at what time. Harris replied 7 while Jerome wanted to wake up at 6 as he had to write some letters. Harris and Jerome had a discussion on the time and finally they settled on 6:30. George did not respond as he was asleep. Harris and George made mischief by placing the bathtub next to George so that he would fall into out as he woke up on though this was the overall story. Hope you understood it properly. Thank you.